Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. K from the Arcadia Public Library. Welcome back to Family Storytime Adventures. This is the first video of our spring session this year, and of course our theme is going to be spring. I'm going to read two books to you today. I'm going to read Mortimer's First Garden by Karma Wilson, and one of my favorites, Muncha 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 by Candace Fleming. But before we get to our stories, let's do a quick hello song. Can you make a planet Earth for me? Good morning, dear Earth. Good morning, dear Sun. Now stretch your fingers up to make a tree. Good morning, dear trees. And the flowers, everyone. Make a flower out of your face. Okay, now let me hear your bee sound. Good morning, dear bees. Bzzz. Good. And the birds in the trees. Make a bird sound for me. Tweet, 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 tweet. Good morning to you, and good morning to me. Good job. Okay, I'm going to start with our first story. As I said, this is Mortimer's First Garden by Karma Wilson, and it's illustrated by Dan Andresen, and I'm reading with permission from Simon & Schuster. Little Mortimer Mouse looked outside. Brown, 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 he squeaked. Nothing but brown. Too dull, too drab, too dreary. Mortimer longed to see something green, anything green. Well, at least I have these. He nibbled the shell off one of 3 sunflower seeds he had saved. Nothing is as good as sunflower seeds, he said. Just then, the big people came into the room. One of them said, "Children, it's springtime. What time is that?" "Garden time," shouted the children. Munch, munch, munch. Mortimer nibbled his treat. What's a garden? He wondered. Do you all have your seeds? Yes. Mortimer perked up his ears. Seeds? He squeaked. Anything about seeds could be tasty. Mortimer nibbled the shell off his second seed. Munch, munch, munch. Delicious. Everybody, look at your seeds. They are small, but imagine, we can put them in the dirt, and with a little water and sunshine, they will grow, grow, grow. One small seed turns into many more seeds or vegetables. It's a springtime miracle. Mortimer giggled at the thought. I don't believe a word of it. Seeds are for eating. Who would throw perfectly good food in the dirt? He picked up his last seed and looked at it. But what if the miracle is true? Mortimer wondered. Can one little seed turn into many? Let's go plant seeds, and soon everything will be green. Green, thought Mortimer. That settled it. I will plant my sunflower seed, he said. Mortimer searched and searched for the right place. I need somewhere the sun will shine, and somewhere I can get water. Then Mortimer saw it, the perfect spot. Mortimer dug and dug and dug. He held up his precious seed. It looked delicious, but Mortimer dropped the seed into the dirt anyway. I hope the miracle comes true, he said, patting soil carefully around the seed. Then he found an acorn cap and lugged over capfuls of water from a small puddle of melted snow. Phew! Gardening is hard work. Mortimer looked at his garden. Nothing but brown dirt. He looked up. The sky was gray. We'll see, he said. In the morning, Mortimer woke up to pitter-patter, pat-pat. Rain, groaned Mortimer. Out in his garden he found brown, soggy dirt. Mortimer stomped his paws. Nothing. I knew the miracle wouldn't happen. I'm going to dig my seed back up and eat it, Mortimer said. But then he stopped. Maybe some miracles need some more time. He looked up at the sky and down to his seed. Please grow and turn green, he said. The next morning, Mortimer woke up to pitter-patter, pat-pat. Oh no, rain again, he said. Outside, Mortimer found brown, soggy dirt. No, 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 squeaked Mortimer. This won't do. My seed will never grow. How much time do miracles take anyway? Cried Mortimer. If I don't dig up my seed now, it might rot in all this rain. But a gentle, quiet voice said, Wait. Who is that? Whispered Mortimer. Wait, said the voice again. Only it wasn't just a voice. It was a feeling in Mortimer's heart. Suddenly, even though he was drenched with rain, Mortimer felt warm and protected. Then Mortimer knew the voice. Mortimer bowed his head. I will wait, God, but please make my seed grow. And Mortimer waited. On the third morning, Mortimer woke to a light in his eyes. Sunshine, bold and bright and beautiful. Mortimer scampered outside and found, look at that, green. Where his seed had been buried, 2 tiny green leaves poked up through the earth. Mortimer danced and Mortimer pranced. He skipped around and around the tiny plant. My garden, he cried, my miracle, thank you, God. And then he stopped. His plant was so small. And what was that next to it? A weed. Mortimer plucked the weed and watered the baby plant. And every day after, Mortimer checked his garden. He weeded, he watered, and he waited. And waited. And waited. Look, his plant is growing though, isn't it? You see how it's getting bigger? And in the summer warmth, the tiny seed continued to grow and grow and grow, until one day in his garden, Mortimer found yellow. He finally got his sunflower. A giant sunflower had bloomed, bold and bright and beautiful, just like the sun. Up, up, up climbed Mortimer. Down, down, down he looked. Mortimer felt as if he could see forever. My sunflower, cried Mortimer. It is a miracle. Thank you, God. Soon the sunflower was heavy with seeds. Hundreds of seeds, squeaked Mortimer, all from just one. I've never seen such a wonder. He plucked each of the seeds and lugged them home to store away. That night, Mortimer cozied down into a bed of seeds and smiled. He stretched and yawned. Thank you, God, for my first garden, Mortimer said, looking at his bountiful pile. That is a lot of sunflower seeds, isn't it? There were plenty of seeds to eat, plenty of seeds to plant next spring, and even a few to share. And please, God, Mortimer prayed, I wouldn't mind a friend to help me eat these. Looks like he has a friend coming, huh? Do you know who that friend is? And Mortimer fell fast asleep. The end. Hey, before we do our next story, let's sing a little song. This is called The Farmer Plants the Seeds, and it's to the tune of Hi-Ho the Dairy-O. It goes like this. The farmer plants the seeds, the farmer plants the seeds. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer plants the seeds. That's it. The rain falls gently down, the rain falls gently down. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the rain falls gently down. Now we need our sunshine, right? The sun shines so warm, the sun shines so warm. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the sun shines so warm. That's right. Now we need our seeds to start growing. Gonna sprout up from the ground. The seeds begin to grow, the seeds begin to grow. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the seeds begin to grow. And our last one is gonna blow in the breeze, okay? The seeds blow in the breeze, the seeds blow in the breeze. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the seeds blow in the breeze. Good job. This is Muncha, 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 written by Candace Fleming and G. Brian Carus. and I'm reading today with permission from Simon & Schuster. Muncha, muncha, muncha. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. But he never once tried it until... "This spring," said Mr. McGreely, "this spring, by golly, I'm going to plant a garden." So he hoed, and he sowed, and he watched his garden grow. Looks like there's someone else watching his garden grow, huh? Do you see the bunnies? Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes. "Yum, yum, yummy," said Mr. McGreely. "I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies." But one night when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Can you say that with me? We're going to say this many times in this story. Here we go. Ready? Muncha, muncha, muncha. Those funny bunnies. Mr. McGreely doesn't think they're funny, though. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. "There," he declared. "No bunny can get into my garden now." And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Ready? Muncha, muncha, muncha. Oh dear. How do you think Mr. McGreely's gonna feel when he sees this? Let's find out. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and his gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. "Humph," he huffed. "Those flop ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now." Do you think that's true? Let's see. And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Ready? Muncha, muncha, muncha. Look at Mr. McGreely's dreaming of carrots, huh? The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. "Ha!" he snorted. "Those pufftails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now." See the bunnies? Think they're going to get in still? Let's find out. And the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, dive, paddle, splash, 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 dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. Oh, poor Mr. McGreely. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filled and trapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. "I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure," he exclaimed. "They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now." There's those bunnies still watching him. Do you think they're still going to get in? Let's find out. and the sun went down, and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 stop. The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them, and tippy, 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 pat. The bunnies hopped away. Aw, poor bunnies. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy. Look at that smile. I beat the bunnies, he whooped, and did a jiggly wiggly victory dance. Then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. Ah, sighed Mr. McGreely, at last. Smacking his lips, he picked and pulled up lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. Uh-oh, there's those bunnies. Ready? Muncha, muncha, muncha. They found a way, didn't they? Those crazy bunnies. Looks like Mr. McGreely decided to just make friends with the bunnies, huh? I'm glad, aren't you? The end. Okay, I have a few riddles for you. See if you can figure out what the answer is, okay? First one says, you see me on flowers, sometimes I fly. You can guess who I am, if only you'll try. I have to admit, some are afraid of me. I am yellow and black. You call me a... Do you know what that is? What is it? That's right, a bee. Okay, let's do another riddle, okay? I always return when it is spring. You'll find me hunting for twigs and string. I won't be held, but I'll be heard. I get up early. You call me a... You know what it is? It's a bird. That's right. Okay, I have another one for you. If you look closely, you'll have to agree it's hard to tell which end is the head of me. If you pick me up, I'll wiggle and squirm. I live underground. You call me a... That's right. A worm. See, here's another one. I'm not very big. I run very fast. When I run in a hole, my tail will be last. When it gets very cold, I want in the house. I love to eat cheese. You call me a... You know what it is? That's right, it's a mouse. Good job. All right, I sleep all winter in my den. By spring, you wonder where I've been. I am very big and have thick hair. I have sharp claws and teeth. You call me a bear. All right, last one. See if you can get this one. I like to hop. I like to eat. I think strawberries are a special treat. I have big ears. Some say they are funny. You see me at Easter. You call me a bunny. You got it. Good job. During springtime, you might see lots of ladybugs flying around. I love those little bugs. They're so cute. So I chose a poem for you today about ladybugs, and this is how it goes. I saw a little ladybug flying in the air, but when I tried to catch her, 2 bugs were there. 2 little ladybugs flew up in a tree. I tiptoed very quietly, and then there were 3. 3 little ladybugs. I looked for one more. I saw one sitting on the ground, and then there were 4. 4 little ladybugs. Another one arrived. I saw her sitting on a flower, and then there were 5. 5 little ladybugs, all red and black. I clapped my hands and shouted, and they all flew back. That's the end. Okay, that's our story time for today. Before we go, let's say our goodbye poem. Hands over your head for a sun. This is good morning, and this is good night. This is a bunny rabbit. Hop, 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 hop. And this is a bird in flight. This means I love you, and you are my friend. This means I'll miss you, so come back again. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'll see you next time.